I mean, he's pretty much Bruce Wayne in Batman, right? Especially if you see the new movie and all the jets and stuff like that, and the space thing, it's like, that's pretty cool, right? Do you like Kaiba or do you hate him? You won't offend me if you tell me you hate him.
I like the original Batman.
No, we're talking about it.
Kaiba. What about Seto Kaiba?
Oh, I love Seto Kaiba.
Oh,
He's my
thank
favorite
you.
character in the series.
Yeah, he's cool. And you know, the other thing too is, there's a human side to him that you feel for him. He's protective of his brother. Family does come first to him. So he's not so cold that he doesn't have a heart. And of course, in the original manga, you know what happens to his original parent. I mean, there's a reason he's an orphan, is because he's very protective of his brother. I mean, yes, he took care of his original father. But I think that because of that, you feel sorry for him a little bit. So you know, but that's nice that you like him. He's a lot of fun to play. It was great to come back and play him again in the movie, because I also feel like I finally got a chance to play him more subtle, because we were not hyping everything. You know, when you get these shows and you that are from a different culture. America is always about bigger explosions and louder music and all of this stuff, and there's something very cinematic about the way that we did this last movie. It's not about talking all the time. It's not about yelling all the time. There are these dramatic moments, and the music carries these moments, and it was nice to play it subtle, you know, instead of yelling at you all the time, or yelling at you. So, a good question. All right, who's got another question for me? Who hasn't asked me a question? We've got a couple more minutes before I got to go back into autograph world. Yes?
What I was thinking, how was it like working on the Pokemon, the first movie, like doing the recording? Because 2 years ago I asked Veronica about her experiences. So what about yours?
It was interesting. So when something becomes very successful, everyone wants to be involved. It's just how it works. So when you work on a new show and it's doing okay, but then all of a sudden, boom, we have enough money to make a movie. It's going to be in theaters. Everyone in the company wants to get involved. Everyone. And there's a great saying that a camel is a horse designed by a committee. Which basically means, what have you got? It's like, there's no one idea, we've just created this mess, right? So it was interesting to work on that first movie because the person that was directing the series at the time was not asked to direct the first movie. The person that was writing the show was not asked to write. There was like a whole team of people. So there was a lot of opinions, which was hard to deal with. That was the only negative side. The fun side was, we're doing a movie. You know, I didn't start out as a voice actor thinking that I would ever watch myself on television or especially go to a movie theater and see my name in the credits as, you know, a starring role, that kind of thing. That was a pretty cool idea. When we worked on the show, we worked in a small booth with a tiny TV screen and an engineer and a producer outside, and maybe one other person could fit in that booth. And that was it. No audience, no nothing. When we went to do the movie, we worked in a giant film studio looping room, which was basically the size of the stage with a microphone in the middle of it. Me standing with a giant screen, bigger than that. The director sitting in the room with me with a script, and behind us, a whole glass wall with engineers and stuff like that, and all these assistants sitting behind us. So we were acting in front of an audience too, which was really cool. So that was, the creation side was a lot of fun. But what was really cool was going to see the premiere, where, you know, you went to the movie theater, and the place was filled with fans, and the movie starts, and there you are, you know, your big animated version of yourself, your voice coming out of these characters on a big jumbo screen in, like, you know, 5.1 sound or whatever. That was neat. That was neat. You know, I think I worked on 8 Pokemon movies.
Yeah,
That was in the
that's
Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
Yes, that's right.
I directed the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie. That was another thing where everyone had a say in it, and there was a lot of work that went into it, and it was, once again, a confusing mess for me. Yeah, you know, I do have to pinch myself every once in a while where I get to experience some of that stuff, because fame is not your goal as an artist. It is a bonus. Fame, you know, disappears. We all have that 15-minute bump, and that's it sometimes. But if you can do something that actually makes a difference as an art, like if you like my music and it helped you through a tough time, or Pokemon, you know, I've had people tell me that I didn't have friends in school, and I'd come home and Pokemon was my friends. Like, I knew these characters, they helped me through some you know, I had a loss in my family, and this and that, and I don't take that for granted. I think that that's, if something that I was working on made a difference, that's great. The fame side is the bonus. So it's very flattering to come to a convention and meet fans that, will say, like, the voice of my childhood and stuff like that. But that's not where you start out your career. That's not what you're trying to accomplish. You just want to do a great job and work really hard doing it. Like, I take everything that I do very seriously. I enjoy it, and I love what I do, and I do what I love, but, there's definitely, if I don't do a good job, and you still, go out and buy every card and game or whatever, yeah, that's great that I got the fame for it, but if I don't feel proud of the work, then to me that's not my craft. But yeah, that was cool, and it was really cool with the Yu-Gi-Oh movie. This was the first time we had a red carpet thing. We had a red carpet screening in New York, and we had 2 theaters. This was really cool. We had a crew, everyone who worked on it, in one theater, and all of the marketing people and all of the people behind everything, business side. And then the other theater was filled with fans that got the special VIP pass.
Oh, nice.
So Dan Green and I did the introduction before the movie in one theater, and they were like, well, which theater do you want to watch the movie in? I was like, oh, I want to watch the movie with the fans. Like, everybody else had seen the movie a couple times, and everybody else, they're jaded. They know, they were proud of it, but I wanted to see how the fans reacted to it, because I don't get the immediate response like I do with music. If I play a song to you right now, and you cheer right after that, I know you liked it. I do dubbing, and you send me fan mail, it's like 3 weeks or a month later or 5 years or 20 years later, I get fan mail going, I just saw Slayers for the first time, you were awesome, that was great. Yeah, wow, that was so long ago. There's no immediate gratification for me. So sitting in the audience with the fans watching the Yu-Gi-Oh movie was so cool, because I'm watching it. Now, of course, I dubbed my part first. So I didn't hear anyone else. No one else was recorded yet. So the first time I saw the full movie was with fans. And I'm sitting next to Dan Green. And I'm like, that was pretty funny. I like that. And he was like, hey, good job. Like, we were complimenting each other, because neither one of us had heard each other's stuff. And the audience would laugh at lines where I was like, wow, I didn't think that was that funny, but they thought that was really funny. And it was really cool. It was a cool experience. But yeah, I mean, I don't take that for granted. It's the fact that I've even been on television or in film is very lucky. There's a lot of talented people out there, and yes, I will say that I'm good at what I do, but there's a lot of people that are good at what they do, and I'm not the only one that could have done that role. So. All right, we've got another couple of speed round questions. I got another 5 minutes or so before I got to go back in the other room. Yes.
What's Brock's color eyes? What color are
Haven't you ever seen the episode where Brock opens his eyes?
Oh.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can Google it. They did it once. They actually told us they were going to open his eyes, and we said, I think that's a terrible idea. And they opened his eyes, and they're bigger than anyone else's eyes in anime ever. And then they closed them again, never to be opened again. They're giant, big, white, huge eyes with tiny, tiny little black pupils. You'll see it. If you Google it, you'll see it in a second. Yep.
Are you a Mark Hamill Joker fan?
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting that you mentioned the Joker. There's a villain that you don't hate. You feel sorry for him, in a way. He's got a human side. You know, I think Mark is great. You know, it's interesting, too, because do you think that people would have cast Mark Hamill as the Joker if all they knew is he was Luke Skywalker? Like, do you think they would have even considered it? This is an actor that's a fantastic voice actor as well, where you might not have cast him that way, if you were typecasting. You know, so it's nice to see the range of people, especially with Mark. I mean, he's a super talented guy. Yeah, very, very good stuff. And first time I heard it, of course, I didn't think it was, I didn't know who it was. And that's good too, right? That's cool. Who's got another question for me? Anybody? You want to? Yeah?
Have you ever watched the little Karibo Use Your Bridge theme?
I have. I don't have a problem with parody. I get asked this question a lot. I don't have a problem with parody. What I have a problem with is that the company that I work for, Konami, owns the rights to all of the materials. What you can't do with parody is make money off of it. So, for example, Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live might do a funny fake commercial about Burger King, where they're joking around about, get the new rat burger at Burger King, right? And they do a whole fake commercial, and Burger King goes, but they can't sue them, because it's just a joke. But let's say in the Saturday Night Live gift shop, they sell a Burger King t-shirt with a big rat on it, and they charge $20 for it. Burger King could sue Saturday Night Live for copyright infringement and liable and all of that stuff, right? So if you're going to do parody, you can't monetize it. So using the original artwork, using the logo, if he would play the stuff for you guys, but not sell the t-shirts, not sell the merch, not charge a fee to do it, then it would be better. That's my only thing. And also, if you're that talented and that funny, because I know he's very funny, I know Martin very well. If you're that funny, why wouldn't you spend that time doing an original idea? See, that's another thing that I tell a lot of the anime fans at conventions. How many of you guys write? Creative writers. How many of you guys draw? How about any of you musicians? Anybody dabble in video editing? Maybe some animation? Okay, so you're already at a place where the majority of you guys like the same genre of stuff, right? You like anime, you like cartoons, you like that kind of stuff, you like sci-fi. You just raised your hands in every category that's a production company, right? So if you've got a great idea, but you can't draw, but you've got a great story, why wouldn't you talk to the person next to you who raised their hand that draws? And if that other person sitting on the other side is someone that's interested in scoring music, why wouldn't you talk to that person? Or the person that video edits, things like that. Because here's how it works. When I started in this business, technology was very expensive. Now, if you've got a decent laptop, a decent microphone, and some basic software, if you're creative, you can put something together and actually get it out there for people to see. Right? Social media is now, you guys make things go viral better than any advertising agency ever could. Which brings me to this next thing that I wanted to tell you guys. So, I'm working with 12 of the most well-known voice actors from my generation on an original project. It's not anime, but it's a very cool thing that involves voice acting, some cool visuals, great story that we're going to be doing ourselves. Our own idea. Why? Because we're geeks and nerds and fans of this stuff. And we've all worked on shows where other people have been in charge of that. And we don't like when people aren't consistent with the storyline, or change things, or break away from a cool idea because they think you fans want something different. We're really tough on each other as we've been writing this and producing this thing that's going to be revealed probably in October. Because we push each other. We push each other to go, that's a dumb idea. We can do better than that. Oh, you know what? Let's develop this character even more. So what I want to leave you with in this panel is parody and all of that stuff is great. But honestly, if you're that creative and just have those skills, next year it'd be really cool if we were at a convention together and you said, Eric, I want you to take a look at this show that I'm producing. The animation doesn't have to be Disney quality. The music can be simple. It's all about the story. Start with a good storyline. First of all, there's really nothing new, right? How many of you guys have seen or know the story of Romeo and Juliet? How many times have you seen Romeo and Juliet? I'm not talking about the original. How many times have you seen the story told of Romeo and Juliet? Right? Many. So why couldn't you tell a story like that but put them in space or put them underwater? Whatever it is, you've got the protagonist, you've got the relationship, the drama, all of these characters, the character types are used over and over and over again. So why couldn't you create your own version of something like that? It would still be original, right? So anyway, there's your answer to that. So I'm going to be going inside to the vendor room there where all of our giant pictures of ourselves are. Very easy to find me. There's a huge picture of my face with my characters on it. But what I'm going to do first before I go back to my table is if anybody wanted to do the professional photo op, we're going to do that for a half an hour in a little photo booth in the corner, and then I'm going to go to my table and do some autographs, stuff like that. But you guys have been a good panel, and I hope you learned something from me. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the convention, okay? Thanks, guys.